have a 5000 milliamp battery until I felt the weight of it. I didn't actually check out too many of the specifications before purchasing this phone, but after, honestly, I really like this battery. Lasts throughout the entire day and then some, and it is actually quite hefty. We'll talk about that later. Number 3 is going to be the 6.5 inch 720p screen that we have on here. Now I know 720p is not 1080p. I know this is not going to be an AMOLED screen or anything like that, but I feel like this screen is very solid, especially for what you're paying. You know, 175 bucks for a screen that's 6.5 inches, 720p. We can still watch videos at 60 frames per second. I think it's definitely passable. I think most people don't really care. As long as it's HD, it works. And this phone definitely delivers when it comes to the screen and watching movies and things like that. Really do enjoy this, and I don't think 720p would knock this phone down at all. Fourth reason definitely has to be the fingerprint sensor that we have right here. It's actually a very quick and responsive fingerprint sensor. As you guys can see, we just tap right there on the right side, and that's great because I don't want to have to use facial recognition or whatever on this device. It's great to just have a fingerprint sensor right there, pull it out of your pocket, and boom, open it up. So number 4 definitely has to be the fingerprint sensor. Now number 5, I was talking about this earlier, how this phone is a little hefty. But the form factor, number 5 has to be the form factor. I really like the look of this phone. It's very sleek, very sexy in this black color, and we do have other colors, but we'll talk about those in a second. But we have our quad camera setup, kind of resembling one of the newer iPhones, Samsung or Google devices. It's a very simple layout on the back. We have our Samsung emblem right here on this little metallic material, and then it looks like we kind of have like a carbon fiber type feel right here. So form factor is really nice. We have a big phone in the hand. It is going to be hefty because of that 5000 milliamp battery, so it's not going to be feeling cheap. You know, we have the LED flash right under that. It's just a very sexy and smartly thought out build. Really do like this. Now number 6 has to deal with the internal storage, and we actually get 64 gigabytes on board. There are other options if you guys want to upgrade that to 128 and double that, but those options will be costing about 50 bucks more, I believe. For some people it's worth it, some people it's not, but we get 64 gigabytes on this phone. So I really like that we have that type of internal storage on this device. We usually don't see that in these cheap of devices, so that's great to see. Number 7, I would go with the quad camera setup. This is actually a decent quad camera setup, has a very decent camera, shoots at 1080p 30 fps. We also have our 48 megapixel main shooter right here, and I feel like that definitely gets the job done. Even shooting videos on this device looks very, very good, but I feel like the camera is very decent, especially for the price point. Number 7 is going to be the 15 watt fast charger that comes alongside with the new A12. Now, this charger actually charges this device up fairly quickly. I feel like it's definitely cool that we get this in a phone that's so cheap. You usually don't see it in cheaper phones unless it's something like Motorola, but you're usually paying, you know, $250 to $300 for those, so you're going to be paying a little bit extra for that with their turbocharge. But the fast charger in here works great. My 9th reason definitely has to be that we get tons of different options for the color of the phone. So we actually do have black right here. We also have white, we have blue, we have red, and I believe they might be coming out with a few other exclusive colors, but we definitely have some options to choose. So if you guys, you know, want to choose another color other than the black, you guys can go ahead and do so. But I really like that we have options with the Galaxy A12, because a lot of cheaper devices don't really have options. They usually have 1 or 2, and that's pretty much it. And number 10, the 10th reason why I think this phone is going to be a good buy is because it has a dedicated microSD card slot. Now, a lot of the phones that we're seeing now do not have dedicated microSD card slots. I really like that this one has it, so if you guys would like to expand your storage via that microSD card, you guys can go ahead and do so. And I believe this goes up to 2 terabytes if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who's going to need that much storage, but you guys can store videos, you guys can store photos, and all the other good stuff on there. So I felt like that was some really good breathing room that Samsung